Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Thunderstruck Super Series, presented by Big Frig. And tonight we are in the Killin Time Tour Mods division and getting ready to race in probably one of my favorite tracks ever, North Wilkesboro, and taking these tour mods around. And we are getting ready to roll now in the B main, so we'll go ahead and bring the grid up for that. Brandon Meyer starting on the front row, Chuck Phelps starting second, Phil Hitman Monzo third, Thomas Capuano fourth, fifth, William Griffith, and sixth, Charlie Gates Jr. So a six-car little B main, and one driver is going to go home, although looks like a couple drivers have gotten out of the car, William Griffith and Charlie Gates. So if that is the case, we'll try to make sure to confirm that. But if that's the case, then everybody here will transfer to the feature, so that's good. Don't have to worry about getting taken out and missing the race. So not really sure what happened to those guys, but hate to see that, as it adds a little bit interesting whenever some people have to go home. But hey, that's good. Everybody gonna get the race tonight. Lights are off, the base car will go green. So this race is basically just for your start position in the feature. Are you gonna start? You're gonna start 16th, or are you gonna start 19th with only 4 drivers? I can't tell if Charlie Gates is starting from pits. He'll transfer regardless, but right now doesn't look like that's gonna matter. But green flag is out, as we'll have to pull up the tower up as the ticker is just not working. Doesn't like these heats, that's for sure. Brandon Meyer taking an early lead in that 33. Thomas working outside. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact with Chuck Phelps. And he drops back into the clutches of Phil Hitman Monzo, as Thomas Capuano, likely not to qualify, wanting to race his way in and get a little extra practice. Nothing wrong with that. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Rebel Racing Network. I'm Eddie Smith, and you're watching the Big Frig Thunderstruck Super Series. And we're racing tour mods here on Wednesday night. This race is just a formality. Everyone in this race will transfer. Charlie Gates on pit road. Griff did not grid up, so Charlie, he's not even going to get that thing warmed up. He's going to just pull right in the pits, knowing he's transferring, and just hang out. Still got a race to do, 17 laps. Brandon Meyer laying down some fast laps. Thomas was able to get up to second place, and he's getting loose off the corner. But we do have a nice battle back here between Chuck Phelps and Phil Hitman Monzo. You see Charlie Gates coming out of pit road, decided to join the fun. Cannot wait to get this feature going. It's going to be a lot of fun. This series has been just outrageously competitive this season. A lot of comers and goers. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's just nothing like short track racing. It's a little bit bigger track than what we're maybe used to. But it ought to add for some interesting racing. Maybe the high line could be something that people can use. Normally it's not. But I'd be interested to see what these cars can do. Watch Chuck work on the inside of Thomas Capuano. Thomas is sort of working, higher line there. Thomas is the type of guy, he just kind of not trying too hard on these heat races. Can't really tell if he's, oh, Phil Hitman Monzo. Oh, clobbered that little opening in the track, and man, luckily we're in a sim, because that is that's a neck cracker right there. See climbs up on the wall, and then boom, catches that fence and sends him over on his hood, and he has to get out completely. And that does bring out the caution. So hopefully Phil's okay. We'll have a check-in, so if we get a pit reporter down there and check on Phil. All right, well, 10 laps to go. Phil's sitting in piss. Charlie Gates is on the track with multiple laps down. That's okay. He's going to go ahead and transfer. All these drivers will. Brandon Myers really led this race without any competition. Like Thomas might get up there and fight for that lead, but fell back a little bit. Like always, open setups, one set of tires. Now, the heat in the heats, they do get a set of tires, and they'll get a new one when they get into the main. So anything they use here, they don't have to save a set of tires. That one set that's on the car will be brand new for everybody once the feature starts. But once that starts, you got 125 laps here on one set of tires, so you must take care of them. Like always. But open setups adds a little wrinkle to this series. Allows guys who can, well, a couple different things. Guys who really know how to tinker with setups. Guys who can just throw on the fixed setup and just let it rip. Or, you can whip out the old credit card these days, which I hate to say it, but you can whip out the old credit card and buy a setup. So, of course, some of these setup shops I've seen around here doesn't mean you're going to get a quality setup. So, while we're under caution, apparently we are under the longest caution in history of cautions. Phil Hetman Monzo was off the track a long time ago, but there the lights go out on the pace car. They're going to get doubled up and go green. But I just want to thank our presenting sponsor, Big Frig. You see it up on the screen. Definitely go over to Big Frig and check out what they've got. Coolers, all kinds of things. Definitely check them out, especially as summer's about to hit. Got to get those coolers ready. It's about to get hot. Brandon Meyer going to lead us down. Just a few laps to go. About 7.6 as we cross the line. Let's see if he's able to hang on to the lead, or somebody can get up there and challenge him. I said everybody on the track is going to transfer to the feature. Feature is a 20-car feature, so the top 15 qualifiers are locked into the feature, and everybody else we have, like tonight, we had 21 drivers, or if you have 40 drivers, they all have to race their way in that 20-car feature, which I like that. Really make sure the car count is consistent, allows for really good racing. Can't imagine 43 cars out on the track with these bad boys. Thomas starting to give it a go here as we got 3 laps to go. Getting right on the back bumper. Brandon Meyer on board, try to see what the lines are looking like. A wide arc, trying to get it low, exit off the corner, get as much straightaway speed as you can. But it's being really aggressive there. On the bottom of turn 1, but see that Brandon Meyer able to get a better run off the corner. That's something that we'll pay attention to in the big race. As coming off 4, you can't really do that. But Brandon Meyer going to take the win in the feature. Thomas Capuano just sends it into turn 1. and we are getting ready for a warm-up, and we'll talk about the points a little bit. A little early to be talking about points, and every time I bring it up to the drivers, they're always like, well, I'm not really worried about it just yet. And everybody says that, but, you know, it's always on the back of their mind. They don't want to, you know, it's one thing. You don't want to give the competition the idea that you, I don't know what it is. Racers don't want the competition to know that they care or they really are thinking about points. I don't know, maybe it's a sign of weakness or not real sure, but you'll never get them to admit that, oh, yeah, I'm definitely thinking about the points. I want to win this championship. They always try to downplay it and say, oh, I'm not thinking about it. But right now, A.J. Rogers, 218 points leading the way, got the win last week, been super, super close, an average finish of 4th place, just constantly up there. Josh Oswald is no wins, still has a goose egg in the win department, but still in 2nd place. He's always one that's super consistent. Stays out as much trouble as he possibly can. He's sitting back there, 6 points back. Math, he is 12 points back at 206. Donald Clark with 2 wins. He is in 3rd with 191 points and actually tied with Michael Steffen at 191. Garrett Kinder rounds out the top 5 with 186 points. So Mike Hasty, Thomas Capuano, Brandon Meyer, Sam Wetstein, and Dante Curtis still definitely in the hunt. A couple guys have missed a few races, and that's put them kind of out of the reach of the lead. They're really going to have to show up and make up some work, because it's really there's no playoffs, no drop weeks, as far as I know, unless they're approved drop weeks. So missing races pretty much guarantees that you don't. I think you can miss maybe one, but outside of that, you're pretty much not going to be able to do it. Let's see if the ticker has decided to work, and it has. And we'll bring up the grid. We'll see who took the pole tonight. Jason Warren on pole with a 17.018. Rick Rube on the outside of row number 1. Josh Oswald starting 3rd. Mike Hasty 4th. Mike Steffen 5th. A.J. Rogers 6th. Garrett Kinder, all these guys that we just talked about in the point standing, starting up front, doing what they have to do. Garrett Kinder starting 7th. George Fernandez starting 8th. Sam Wetstein, the Sweatstein, starting 9th. Starting 10th, Shannon Wilder. Starting 11th, Frank Barbary. Starting 12th, Logan Sturgeon. Good to see him in the field tonight. Starting 13th, Terry Bates. Starting 14th, Tyler Rice. Starting 15th, Dave Jones. Starting 16th, Brandon Meyer. 17th, Thomas Capuano. 18th, Chuck Feltz. 19th, Charlie Gates Jr. And 20th, Phil Hitman Monzo. Phil Hitman Monzo says this is his favorite car in the service. Actually runs his own little Tour Mod series. I think it's on Saturday night, so he is a big fan. So no doubt about it, he wants to get up here and race and maybe try to sneak in there and get a win. But up front, got some heavy hitters. Jason Warren doing what he has to do to be out front. Jason Warren can win races if he can just keep it clean. But I'm expecting to see him try to take control of this race and not really relinquish it tonight. We've got some Garrett Kinder fans. We got Kevin Kinder, Ratchet Miller, of course. We got Adam Black, Basilo, Weber. Cheering for George Fernandez. So got a lot of guys, people with fans in here tonight. Cheering them on. Let me know who your drivers are, and I'll try to keep tabs on them throughout the race. But getting ready to go green here as Jason Warren leads us down to the green flag. And, man, it took forever to raise the green flag. And the field kind of got a little goofed up there. But so far it looks like we've been able to clear it, and Jason Warren able to get out front with Josh Oswald following right behind him in that 17 car. And you see Mike Steffen trying to make it work on A.J. Rogers, but A.J. was able to hold him off there. And A.J. actually looking out to the outside of Mike Hasty. George Fernandez in the wall, but able to get the tires back on the ground. As, I talked about that outside, and I wanted to see how that was going to go. And already we see A.J. Rogers making it work, which is always a lot of fun. Ooh, got two drivers down on the inside. Looks like Terry Bates and David Jones sitting down in the grass. Well, it says number 2, but that's number 8 of Terry Bates and Dave Jones. See if we can go back and see what happened to him. Oh, Terry Bates gets a little bit loose, and Dave Jones just know where to go. So they kind of get they're touching tips down there on the straightaway. And you see Dave Jones coming down pit road. But we go back out front, though. We stay green, which is pretty awesome. And Jason Warren still leading the pack. Got to know Jason Warren over the past year and a half or so, and there's no doubt about it. The field's going to catch up to Dave Jones. He's right there on the bottom. He jumps down to the low side. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with Dave. I don't know if he's got some issue with his car. Why is it so slow? Oh, it looks like he's just letting the field by. Well, that's a good guy. I like that. But got to know Jason Warren quite a bit, and I tell you what, he's a great guy, man. If you want to sit in Discord chat and talk shit with somebody, excuse my language, Jason Warren is the guy, man. What an awesome character. Pretty much all these guys are great guys. Some of them I haven't spent a whole lot of time with. The top 2 I spent a lot of time with, as Josh Oswald's starting to put a little pressure here on the 32. Got to know Josh Oswald a lot as well, and man, these are just a lot of really great guys in the series. And that 17, it's a good-looking paint scheme. Does some really nice paint jobs. Really dig his style. Actually got him to paint my 87 car. You see Mike Hasty go down to the inside, take a look on Rick Rube with 081, but not able to quite make it just yet. So far, pretty clean here. As lap 12, we're still under green, other than that. No, as soon as I say something, caution comes out. Ratchet Miller, what did you do? But Thomas Capuano goes around. He pulls back on the track in front of Dave Jones and has to take evasive maneuvers. We'll see what happened to Thomas. Yeah, we've seen this from him in the past where he, I don't know, he gets kind of behind or something like that. And that's one of those deals where you got a little itchy leg looking for a caution. I don't know what happened to him. It looks like I don't know what in the world he's got going on. If he's got some wheel issues or he is weaving back and forth. Oh, he gets into the wall. He does climb that wall, so I don't know if he's got some sort of damage. That's exactly what it is, so I apologize, Thomas. Thought maybe he was trying to get a caution, but definitely has some major wheel damage. I noticed once he started weaving a bunch, I thought, something ain't right. And sure enough, he got into the wall and has some major, see that wheel all the way to the right. He's trying to do the best he can. But it's just a matter of time before that thing is going to go around. Those wheels definitely stick out quite a bit. It makes the damage. Those things he finally does spin out there. It took about 6 laps to finally spin out. Well, we're under caution. First caution of the night on lap 15, as Thomas Capuano has some wheel issues. And he is actually out of the race, so can't say he did that on purposeless, because he actually got out of the car. So We are watching the Killin Time aerial view here as we watch 18 drivers still on the track. I think Dave Jones 19. As you see Thomas over there in the top of your screen by the start-finish line getting a tow. He'll be back on the track shortly. He does have a faster pair. There's one faster pair in this series, and so he'll be able to get back out there with a fresh car. Try to protect those wheels a little bit. And we're getting ready to go back green. You see them start to double up here as Jason Warren gonna have control this restart. And as soon as the pace car drops off, Jason Warren is gone. And Josh Oswald able to fight around the 081 Rick Rube. Rick Rube actually going to drop a spot to Mike Hasty as Mike Steffens saw what A.J. Rogers did on the high side. I was like, hey, let me give this a whirl. He's trying to work on the top side of Rick Rube and actually getting alongside of him. So that top line is definitely, maybe A.J. Rogers could have held on to that. Oh, as Rick gets a little bit loose there, grabs the piece of that apron, the grass, and, man, checks up that line. Everybody able to get through without much issue. But I imagine A.J. Rogers probably kicking himself for giving away that top side a little bit too early. But that'll make restarts a little bit less stressful or frustrating. A lot of short tracks that are low side dominant, you get stuck up on that high side, you really can't go anywhere if you start an even number on the restart. Sometimes it's frustrating to get back down. But go back up to the lead. We got a 3-car battle. Mike Hasty jumping back up in front. Is Josh Oswald all over the back end of Jason Warren. Car looks like it's really rotating in the middle of the corner. You kind of see how he gets a little bit loose there. Has to do a little bit of counter steer in the middle. And that car is just rotating. It's not getting too tight. Normally when they land, you have to put a lot of wheel into it, like that right there. But the last couple laps, he was able to let it kind of roll. These cars, you can be a little bit aggressive with slides, a little bit, but you have to be careful. You don't want to overdo it, as you don't get the one set. So far, Jason Warren able to hold off Josh Oswald. Let's go back and check on this battle between Frank Barbary and that 29 and Chuck Pegleg Phelps. In the 75, Frank gets a huge run off that corner, able to clear Chuck. And right behind him, George Fernandez looking to pass the 75 as well. George has dropped back a few spots, definitely qualified well, but has saw him climb the wall one time, so may have a little bit of damage, just struggling here in race trim. Let's get the inside position of, man, that's a great view right there, of Chuck. Chuck gonna fight back on the outside. Chuck able to hang on to that spot. He set the moment. You see cars all over the track. Was George and Davy Jones going to get together? Davy going to go down low. Able to hang on to it. Might have a little bit of damage after that. That was not insignificant as far as contact goes. back up front as Josh Oswald has been able to take the lead. As we were watching that battle, let's go back and see how he did it. We'll have to back it up, apparently. That is not... Oh, Jason Warren gets into the wall a little bit. 17 goes down low to avoid him, and that gives him that position. And so move Josh Oswald up to the point now with Jason Warren falling back to second place. Really good race here is this cluster of cars here pretty much mirroring each other as far as lap times. Really hard to say who's the fastest out of this bunch. See Garrett Kinder right behind this group. Mike Casey all over the back bumper. Jason, I can't tell if Jason, he's just trying to cruise a little bit. Didn't really make that much contact with the wall. I can't imagine he has too much damage. I don't know if he's trying to cruise or if he's starting to fall off a little bit. But Mike Hasty sees that 17 driving away and is really trying to get around it. But Jason Moore not making it easy. Get out of the groove. Got his teammate right behind him, Mike Steffen. I'm sure Mike will give him a little extra room to try to complete this pass. If I go back into 5th, 6th, 7th, I think we got a lot of guys right here just trying to stay in touch with the lead, who are really making sure they keep their tires and car clean for that late race push. AJ Rogers, Rick Room, Garrett Kinder. Every once in a while, I'll see a flash of a lap time that is faster than what the leaders are running. So that means they got a little bit extra in the tank. They're just not making use of it. I don't want to give away their strategies, but I think we'll see these guys start to work their way through these group in about 60 laps or so. Shannon Wilder kind of on an island by himself in that 10 machine. He's in 8th, started 10th, up 2 spots. Having a good run. Biggest mover right now is, well, it's kind of tied between Tyler Rice in that 6th machine, which I really do like that paint scheme. Every time I see it, unless that's a new one. It looks like a new one. I like that, though. It looks good. Him and Sam Wetstein battling it out for 9th place. He's up 4 spots, Tyler Rice is. Brandon Meyer, who won the B main, is up 4 spots. Chuck Pegleg Phelps in 75, he's up 4 spots. And Phil Hitman Monzo, that work he's doing, see him get a little bit loose there. That work he's doing in the Saturday night series, definitely helping him a little bit. Go back up front. Jason Warren has been able to get a little smaller gap, or get a little bit of a gap on Mike Casey. Give him some breathing room. I tell you, when you got a driver like Mike Hasty on the back bumper, it's really hard to drive like you want to. It's pretty much any of the short track stuff. Once somebody gets right on your tail, you can't really drive the line you want to. You have to sort of go into a defensive. But if you look at Jason Warren there, while the outside is good on restart, I don't know what it's going to be like here as the tires are really hot. And so Jason Warren opens that door. Look how many cars are behind Mike Hasty to take advantage of that. So if Jason Warren doesn't play a little defensive and gets stuck up on that outside, he could be running second or seventh. So but definitely on the defensive, and you really can't do much attacking when you're driving like this. Mike Hasty is making another go at him. Mike Hasty, see if we can figure out where he can make a move. As we're watching Mike Hasty, these guys have started to run back down the number 17 of Josh Oswald. So the 7-car little battle is becoming an 8-car battle, 7-car. The 6-car battle is becoming a 7-car. I'm from Mississippi, y'all. Sometimes math can be hard. Brendan Meyer actually sitting in the infield here in the grass. No caution just yet. He's trying to get back on the track. We'll see if he can get back on the track safely. Is actually doing a stand-up job of not pulling back on the track, trying to keep it in the grass. So good on him for not doing that. Always try to give props to people who do things right. I know he wants to get back on track, get back in the race. But does the right thing to not cause an accident. Definitely appreciate that. Oh, and as soon as I say that, oh my goodness, there's a big wreck. Mike Hasty, Garrett Kinder, and Phil Monzo are involved. As looks like the leaders were going around Monzo, and now Mike Hasty is smoking. Let's see if we can go back a lap or two. See Phil Monzo in front of the leaders, about to go a lap down. Josh Oswald goes to the inside, and oh my goodness. Let's actually go on board. We'll stop it here. Go on board with Mike Hasty to see what he could see, as I don't know if it kind of surprised him or what, but yeah, it looks like Phil was out of the gas, maybe trying to let everybody go, and I don't think Mike expected him to be that far off the pace or something. I'm not real sure. Oh, it looks like, yeah, Jason Warren actually gets a little bit loose trying to hold it low to make the pass there. And Hasty just goes up and really nowhere to go. I can't say that was Phil's fault. I think he definitely was getting up out of the way. I just don't think Mike could really judge that. But he is able to get a faster pair, and he'll come back on the track on the lead lap. So Mike is still in this thing, but a scary wreck there as they were putting for a lap down. Almost halfway here as Josh Oswald's going to lead the way. It's really disappointing for last season's champion, who is not having the season that he would like to have, defending his championship run last season. Of course, the competition has definitely stepped up, but he seems to always get caught up in stuff, stuff that's not really his fault, and sometimes stuff that may be. I don't know. It's hard to say, but just this season just been really unlucky. He is sitting 6th in points. He's quite a few points out of first place, though. No wins and an average finish of 9th place. But he has been fast. He's shown a lot of speed. If he can stay out of trouble the best he can, he is definitely a threat to defend his championship. No doubt about it. Definitely got the speed. We've seen it tonight already. Just an unfortunate situation there. Well, I'm doing my best. We wouldn't want it to get boring and go green all the way, so I got to do what I can to bring out the cautions. All right, Josh Oswald going to lead us to green here on lap 63, coming to lap 64, so halfway. With all that we just did, we got to do it again. And I'm down for it. It was a lot of good racing. Let's see if Jason Warren has something for the 17 machine, who is really kind of taking control after that early mistake by Jason Warren. But we saw there right before that caution, Jason starting to reel it back in. And A.J. Rogers gives up on the top side that time. Maybe Mike Steffen a little bit too strong to make that move work. And, got somebody going down to the inside. Sam Wetstein goes down and hits the wall, blows his motor, comes to a complete stop, then goes. Most definitely keying up saying, is that not a caution? But he is going to have to go down pit road and get a fast repair as that motor is blown. And not really sure what happened there. We'll go back and check that out with Kinder Farmer Ranch Wreckage Rewind. Inside of Frank Barbary there in the 29 machine. Comes off the corner of Frank, get a little bit low of an exit, and they make a little contact and go down to the inside wall, and that motor is gone. He gets a fast repair, and he's coming back out on the track. We'll go back to the racing, though, as Jason Warren doing that we've seen a lot this season, where guys will kind of drive in on the high side and try to get a run off. That seems to be the only way you can get a run on somebody if they're hooked up. He is kind of entering in high, trying to get a real nice run off down the straightaways. And for short track, I think this is some really long straightaways, so good way to make a pass if you're trying to. Here, Kendrick looking to the inside of Shannon Wilder. Oh, we got a big crash back here, though. We got the whole track is completely blocked. You got Frank Barbary, Mike Hasty, Chuck Feltz, Phil Hitman, Monzo, George Fernandez, and Sam Wetstein again as leaders are coming by, as that is a massive wreck. That's the big one. Not really sure what happened. Let's go back to see Kinder Farmer Ranch Wreckage Rewind. Mike Hasty and Frank Barbary. Says this where it started. Frank gets a little bit of a tap from Mike Hasty, and looks like George Fernandez is going to get the worst of it, as he unfortunately going to get a little ricochet off of Frank into the wall, and that was a big old hit there. So it looks like pretty much everybody avoided major damage there, even though it looked really bad with that parking lot situation. But unfortunately for George, he is going to have to go in and get his first fast repair. First and only. Well, we are 72 laps into 125. We got a lot of people in chat. I want to know who you think is going to win this race. Based on what you've seen so far, I don't think in the top 10 you can really just kind of throw a dart at the screen at the ticker up there and probably hit a winner. These races are really interesting. They usually have quite a bit of cautions just by the nature of them being short track, open setups. The setups are built really loose so they can be fast. It just doesn't give you a whole lot of opportunity to make contact with it being so loose and on the edge. These cars are going to go around pretty quickly. So with that, knowing there's going to be a lot of cautions, you can be fast and really just take it easy on those tires, knowing that you're probably going to get a late race caution and put it on these guys. If you're running up front, you may be running pretty hard, trying to stay out in the lead, stay in the front 2 or 3, and run those tires a little bit harder. So I think our winner, may come from, around the 5th place. We'll see if I'm right. Adam Black says George ate the wall, but he's going to eat that W. But we'll see. He's got a lot of work to do. He is a lap down. Going to have to get around Phil Hitman Monzo to be in the lucky dog spot. Well, Kevin Kinder in the no fun zone, says the driver that crossed the finish line first. Josh Oswald with the lead, going to get a great restart again, and Jason Warren going to follow him to the inside, and AJ Rogers again on that restart, working the top side. So far, really clean as AJ is trying to work it. Mike Steffen trying to give a little, they get maybe a little contact there as AJ Rogers driving it deep down to the corner, really making that top side work with Mike Steffen, a strong short track driver. Not going to be disrespected in that way. You're not going to pass me on the outside, and fights off AJ Rogers as you got a nice little battle back here, 2x2. Tyler Rice, Shannon Wilder, Logan Surgeon, and Charlie Gates Jr. as they are fighting it out. This is for 7th place. Charlie Gates going to give up that top side, but Shannon Wilder trying to make it work. Let's see if he can make that pass as Charlie Gates goes down to the bottom again on Logan Surgeon. Logan kind of washing up off the track a little bit, and we see Mike Hasty trying to make his way back up towards the front to make this battle even more interesting. Well, I'm a Kevin, ain't falling for the Hoosier pick stuff. That's all right. Because you know, as soon as that driver wrecks, I'm gonna blame him. That's why. Well, I imagine if you voted with your heart, I know y'all would pick the 13. You see him back there. He is running in 6th place. Man, this battle is just continuing to deliver as nobody. The last few weeks, we've seen guys be able to step out and kind of take the lead, take control of the race. But this week it hasn't worked like that. As they're coming up on a lap car, Frank Barber. Let's see if they can make it around him. Oh boy, gets a little bit close there as Jason Warren kind of slides up the track, and oh no, the leader! Oh my goodness! All top 6 drivers involved in a wreck as Josh Oswald clips the wall there, and oh my God. Every one of the leaders involved in that. AJ Rogers automatically towing the car. You see Jason Warren able to get out of that alive, but Josh Oswald, Garrett Kinder involved. Who else? All the leaders. Let's go back and see what happened. Is That was crazy. It all started with Josh Oswald getting into the wall. Just had control. This race has been leading it. And man, wow. Just a massive wreck. We try to get maybe find a little bit better point of view for that wreck, as we saw they were going by Frank Barbary, and then 17 in the lead just gets into the wall. They all just pile in. Good grief. Oh, I've never seen that before. That's unbelievable. We'll go watch it from Rick Rube, as he is gonna almost squeak through this thing, thinks he's cleared it. Oh man, I made it, and gets caught right in the right rear and goes around. My goodness. Well, if you're I said the winner might come from the top 5, and oh my goodness. Maybe I jinxed the whole top 5. I don't know. Jason Warren is still up front, but he was quite a bit of damage. I would be surprised if he didn't have some sort of issues. We can actually go on board and see if we can see. You see him kind of going side by side, trying to feel out the suspension, see how it feels. You really won't know until you go green. I'm surprised he didn't go down pit road, maybe take a fast repair. But my goodness, I've never seen that before. But boy, that does bring some drivers back into the mix, and some that bring them up to the front. Tyler Rice able to avoid that and is running second. Logan Sturgeon third, Shannon Wilder fourth, and Mike Hasty going to be a huge winner in that ordeal. Be able to pass a bunch of cars that he would eventually have to come back and try to pass. And I ain't never seen that though. That was crazy. We'll see what Jason Warren in that 32 machine has after that. Being involved in that wreck, I mean, he got hit from the front, the back, pretty good. But Matt Clement in chat says he hit pretty square. We'll see how right you are. He does get a pretty good restart. As Logan Sturgeon and Tyler Rice fighting side by side. You see Mike Hasty trying to find his way through. He almost had gotten to the back end of the 26. His 26 kind of gets on the brakes maybe a little bit sooner than he thought. I think Mike Hasty needs to jump out there to that outside. Is always going to get into the back of Logan Sturgeon, and that's not going to help you catch back up if you're Mike Hasty. As he spins out the 26. Got a little confusion here on track on who's supposed to be where. We are under caution again on lap 93 of 125. As Mike Hasty going to get to the back end of Logan Sturgeon. We'll actually just immediately go back and see what happened. Kind of saw it right there as he has to get on the brakes pretty hard there. Almost gets run over the back end, so you just knew that Mike getting in the corner way harder than Logan was. And right there just gives him a little tap. He goes around, and then it's bumper cars from there on out. Charlie Gant Jr. gets a huge hit. Maybe, you know, I'm a little surprised at Mike Hasty. A little bit of desperation, it seemed like, and it could have been just a small mistake. I hate to assume what the drivers were doing or what his intentions were. I'm sure he didn't mean to wreck Logan, but you could definitely tell he was a little impatient there as he had run up on the back end of the 26. Definitely knows he was faster. I'm curious why he didn't just wait it out, especially with the front being shuffled like it was. So a little surprising to see that, but likely just didn't know that it was going to happen. He got in the corner just fine and just rolled the center probably way better than Logan Surgeon did, and just kind of caught up to him pretty quick. But if I was 72, I'd be jumping up on the outside trying to make some passes, knowing that you're fast enough to probably win this race at this point. Most of your front runners are out, or were in the back at least. But has to go back up front. Jason Warren, Tyler Rice, Shannon Wilder has moved up in the 3rd spot. And you see the 17 of Josh Oswald, the 13 of Garrett Kinder finding their way back up here. That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen the leaders all just wreck the whole front of the field, just gone. Well, thank the Lord for fast repairs. Everybody able to keep going. Get some more racing in as we see who's got what on this restart. Jason Warren gets a good enough start, but Tyler Rice is right there. Man, Josh Oswald sailing around the top side of that 6 car. Going to get right back to the bumper of the 32. Going to see just how much damage that 32 has. As Tyler Rice, though, fighting hard on the inside. Always going to get a little bit loose. See if he's able to fight off the 17. We've seen the top side be pretty dang good on cold tires. And looks like Josh able to clear the 6. As that was a great battle there. Now he sets his sights on the 32. Oh, he's going to get loose. You can definitely tell his setup is set on the loose side. So we'll see what the 32 still has as far as damage. And if he can hold off the 17. It seems like the 17 has a lot of life. After that incident, he's going to look down at the inside. 32 going to shut the door as Rick Rube has spun and Mike Hasty involved again. My goodness, let's go back and see what happened. See Brandon Meyer, AJ Rogers side by side here. And oh my goodness, Rick Rube gonna get into Brandon Meyer, gets off the gas on the brake, and Mike Hasty nowhere to go. Damn, man, that is very frustrating if you're 72. So with 24 laps to go under our, I don't know, 4th to 5th caution at this point. As this has been the wildest race I can remember. We've seen some really aggressive racing. Seen some guys some couple two or three car spins from here and there in the last few races, but this race has been wild. We've seen a couple parking lots, and then that wreck when Josh Oswald gets in the wall and takes out pretty much the whole top 5. Ratchet Miller says shit's about to get real anyway. About to? I mean, the last 60 laps have been as real as it gets. If it gets any realer, we'll be inside the damn game. We'll be some of them people sitting in the stands. I don't know. Man, it's been wild here the last few laps. So I can't imagine it's going to get any quieter, that's for sure, as this wind is in hand. You got some guys back here. Tyler Rice sitting in third place, man. Would love to get a win in this series. Sitting there fighting in second place. Or see the two leaders get tangled up. He's right there in the catbird seat to maybe take advantage of that. See George Fernandez sitting there in sixth place. So everybody in chat screaming George's going to get the W. I said he was. He's got a lot of work to do. Well, he's done the work, and here he is on the outside, third row back, as the inside just completely runs into each other. Big checkup as Jason Warren does get a good start, but Josh Oswald all over the back bumper. That 17 looks strong right now as he is really hunting that 32. You can't tell if the 32 has damage because all the wheels look pretty damn straight. But 17, man, was super strong there. Oh, no, George Fernandez is going to get to the wall. Oh, a Chuck going to be involved, and oh, it's another miss. And all started with George Fernandez getting into the wall and climbing that wall with those tires. He is on the outside of Logan Surgeon, way out of the groove, and trying to avoid the 10 maybe. Gets up to the wall. Rick Rube, A.J. Rogers, Brandon Meyer, I tell you what. A lot of guys who up the front of the point standings, as A.J. Rogers was sitting upside down. A lot of guys having trouble tonight. Just can't seem to avoid everything. Well, I mean, Ratchet, I was just saying that it was already real. You said it was about to get real. It was already real. The whole top six had wrecked at this point. I don't know what's left. I mean, we got to hit the pace car. See the pace car right there? We got to make sure we knock it out of the way. Well, I ain't got a clue who's going to win this race. I don't even know if anybody's going to finish this race. I ain't got a clue. This has been the wildest Killin time tour mileage race that I've seen in a while. You would think in a track that's this big that these guys would have a lot more room, but it just shows you how strong these cars are. If you put them on a track that really lets them stretch their legs, guys really able to move around, not really stuck on the bottom. Really able to allow the motor to kind of breathe a little bit. Puts them on edge. Could have been a little bit too aggressive with the setup too. That's always possible. And you see the sun come out. Ooh, I got hot. But being aggressive with the setup, I mean, to be fast, you have to have that thing rolling around the bottom and rolling through the middle. You saw earlier that the cars were definitely loose. They were sliding them a little bit. Just no room for error. You chase it up the track off the corner and get into the wall, you're going to climb it. Ratchet Miller says instead of killing time, should be killing cars. I like that. I'll spit my drink out. Well, North Wilkesboro's track crew needs to figure something out, as they are extremely slow when it comes to clearing out these cautions. We do get the 1 to green. Man, oh man, I have no idea who's going to win this race. Jason Warren with the lead. We saw the 17 be really strong on these restarts. Let's see if he can get it done. Jason Warren going to get a nice start there. Josh going to jump right down to the bottom, try to get that bottom early. give him the best shot. But the 13 working the outside. Garrett Kinder coming into play here. Brand new car. Oh, Josh Oswald going to look down to the inside. Jason Warren closes the door. Garrett Kinder going to have to get down to the bottom. He's going to clear Tyler Rice, and he does. So move the 13 up to third place. And he is in the best seat in the house. As he's got to figure out a way around the 17 and the 32. But he could just wait and see if the 17 will move the 32. And the 17's already wrecked the whole front half of the field. So I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but I don't know what's going to happen here. Is you want to win bad, especially in this series. Who is going to win? We're going to stay up front here as the battle for the lead is red hot, as we only have 9 laps to go. Who is going to pull this one out? Is it going to be the 32? Is it going to be the 17? Are they going to get together? Oh, he looks down to the inside. 32 kind of closed the door a little bit. And, man, the 17 all over him. He's got to figure out a way to get around him, as definitely not going to make it easy. We're giving up spots. We give a whole bunch of room on laps 1 through 110. But now you got to take it. And these guys' teammates are going to be working together. Definitely not wanting to wreck each other. But you see the 32 get loose off the corner. He is really wheeling it. Oh, the 17 is going to get loose on entry. That's going to bring the 13 right to his bumper. He loses a little bit of ground. That's going to allow Tyler Rice to come back up into this mix. So the 13 almost gets into the back end of 17. May have actually gotten a little bit of contact. Going to look down at the inside. Make a move there. Josh Oswald drives it deep in the corner. Oh, 13 going to get to the wall. Woo! 17 of Josh Oswald knew he had to fight off 13 because they could not get into a battle, and watch that 32 drive away. The 17 definitely feels like he is faster, but he has got to make that passage. He's going to get the win. 5 laps to go. Coming to 4. Josh Oswald making another pass, about half a tenth faster that last lap by. Let's see if Josh is able to complete the pass and get it done. He is running out of time as we're coming to 3 laps to go. That time by just a few hundredths faster. Not able to close back to that back bumper. You see him getting really, really loose. He is driving the wheels off. Watch his hands in the steering wheel as he coming off the corner. Counter steering towards the wall, driving it in deep, using that 32 as a reference. Going to get to the back bumper. The 32 going to guard the inside as they come to 2 laps to go. We got 2 laps to settle this thing. The 17 is there. What's he going to do? Is he going to give him the bumper? Is he going to be able to get around him? He's got to figure it out. He's only got a lap and a half left to go. He's going to try to get a run off the corner here. Not quite able to get back to him. He gets a little bit sideways. White flag is out. Is he going to use that bumper and get this win? Goes down the last corner. This is his last shot. Going to drive down. He's just not close enough. And Jason Warren, after surviving that crash, is going to win at North Wilkesboro with a fantastic race as they plow in there. Garrett Kinder comes home in 3rd. Tyler Rice, biggest mover of the race, going to finish in 4th. What a great run for him. Logan Surgeon rounds out the top 5, is on his roof. What a wild race. I don't know. That's one I might have to go back and watch, because that was just wild. Woo! Well, I'm going to need a breather. We had a warm-up before a race. I'm going to need a cool-down after the race. Man, I'll tell you what, that was a blast to watch. And Jason Warren, Josh Oswald putting on a great show there at the end. But let's go ahead and get to some interviews, man. I want to talk to some drivers. I want to hear their point of view and their perspective. And as always, we're going to start with 3rd place, and that's Garrett Kinder. Let's bring him in the booth. Hey, Garrett, stay in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Eddie, what's up, man?
Man, wow, that's the craziest race I've seen in a long time. Tell me about it from your perspective, and tell us a little bit about your race there.
Man, it's parts of it pretty frustrating, getting shuffled to the back and, getting tied up in some wrecks I really had nothing to do with, just, I guess, a victim of unfortunate circumstances, but able to work back up. And, man, that battle at the end, we had Jason and Josh and Tyler and everybody, Shannon up there, that we're all fast. And man, it was fun. I hadn't had that much fun racing these modifieds in a long time. So man, big shout out to those guys. It was fun. I thought I might be able to get Oswald and Warren maybe tangled up, but clipped the curb coming off a three, coming to white flag, and they just kind of checked out of my life for a little bit. But man, what a race, huh?
I just said before I pulled you in here, man, I'll have to go back and watch this one myself. I normally don't go back and watch my broadcast, but I might have to go back and watch this one because there's a lot going on there.
Oh my God, yeah.
I saw you running in seventh place, and I just wondered, I mean, how much were you trying to push, and how much were you just saving during that time? Were you just kind of running at the tail end of that little front pack? Were you trying to save, or were you just maybe need a little bit more, in the tank, or what was going on there?
Man, I guess you could kind of call it a mix of both. I knew those guys up there were fast. I was hoping that I could save a little bit and maybe they'd burn their stuff up racing each other. I just kind of wanted to keep in touch with them, and it worked out for the most part. I was able to stay, somewhat close. I think it was Rick in front of me, able to stay somewhat close to him most of the time, and then got tied up in a couple wrecks. And man, after that, it was just I kind of got to go at that point just because got to make up some track position when I can. So
Yeah, so,
strategy kind of went out the window after I got tangled up in some stuff, unfortunately.
yeah, saw you get up there on the outside on one of those restarts, and I thought you was gonna make something happen there, but Josh Oswald, Jason Warren were both kind of the class of the field tonight. If you can say anybody was a class, because it was all really close. Just needed a little bit extra to get up there and maybe battle with them. But
Yeah, I'd cooked off my rears by that point. I think at one point I looked in my mirror, I saw Tyler loose behind me. I know that Josh and Jason got loose in front of me, and I was loose off of turn four. So we were all hanging it out there, coming with five to go. So hard racing up front and well fought battles for sure.
all right, man. Well, hey, Big Frig's the main sponsor. Killing Time is a secondary sponsor. Who you got to thank? Shout out sponsors, anything like that?
Man, got to thank everybody back home watching Kinder Farm and Ranch, Ratchet Speed Shop. Big Frig's been on board with me for a while, along with Cross 5 Cattle Coolers. So really glad to see them jump over and sponsor this series as well. Love having them around. Wolfpack Racing, Ray Page over there, great guy to know. All my teammates over at Velocity Motorsports. Man, it's just kind of got with them, started doing this short track and stuff. So it's a lot of fun, kind of figuring out where I fit in that whole situation. But man, they provide some good setups that are just lightning fast and really fun to drive. So everybody at Velocity, Shock Eye Racing Performance, and Superior Performance Motorsport. That's a mouthful, man.
That's
And
right.
thank you up in the booth. I like going back and watching these things, man.
Well, this will be a good one to go back and watch, not because of me, but because of y'all. That was a wild race. But congratulations on third place, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, alrighty. He may not want to talk to me. I'm not sure. I think he knows I'm going to bring it up, but I'm going to go ahead and pull Josh Oswald in tonight. The best street sweeper I've seen in a long time, Josh. As man, I know you want to get rid of the competition, but I've never seen it done quite like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I took a little bit of a different line in that corner because we were going around the lap car and it just wiggled coming out of the corner. I didn't think I got that close to the wall, but apparently I did.
Well, hey, you were able to recover from it. I mean, you pretty much were the car to beat during that second half part of the race. Jason was starting to make his way, but you're still able to hold on to it. And after that wreck, able to make your way back up through and get up there and battle with Jason. Seemed like you were really, really fast and maybe a little bit faster than Jason, but just couldn't find a way around him. What were you trying to do, and maybe what if you had 5 or 10 more laps, what would you have changed or tried to do a little bit different to get around him?
Uh, I just need a little bit more drive off the corner to get that nose underneath him. I mean, I was faster. I just couldn't find a clean way around. I didn't want to wreck him. I mean, I gave him a few shots to the bumper, and if I hadn't have gotten loose with two to go, he was going to get the old bump and run, see what happened on the final turn, but wasn't close enough to be able to do it. So, I mean, all in all, the way things played out, it's a good race. I mean, I definitely feel like I gave that one away, but there's still more to come. Overall, it was good. I know you like to talk about points, so it was a good points night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no doubt. I mean, you basically wrecked everybody in front of you in points, and that way you could come back and finish second and have a good point stay, maybe take over that lead. But I'm gonna get in trouble for talking like this, but anyway, I got to give you a little bit of crap because you don't really mess up that often. So whenever you do, it's always funny. So not maybe not funny to everybody else, but I'm sure after tomorrow they'll get over it. But man, a great race, really exciting. Definitely put on a really good league here. But great to be able to come back and after that incident and finish second. I know you wanted the win. You're still looking for that first win. So it looks like it's going to be coming pretty quickly. So, what kind of sponsor shout outs who you got to thank tonight?
Like first and foremost, big shout out to Velocity Motorsports. You know, Velocity Motorsports had top 4 cars tonight, so it was a good night for us. I'd like to thank you for taking care of the broadcast. All the admins that helped me keep Thunderstruck going. Aaron Ward for doing race until tonight. I know it got hectic for him. Superior Performance Motorsports, big Frig coolers. If you don't have one, get yourself one. Best cooler you could ever want. And just my friends and family that watch the race at home and cheer me on.
Well, there you have it. Second place finisher Josh Oswald. Almost moved myself into the big channel. Yeah, man, no doubt about it. That was that was a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and bring the winner in here and talk to Jason Warren. This Eddie in the booth. You got me?
What's up, my man?
Well, buddy, man, that was the wildest race I ever been in my life. I told Josh he tried to wreck every one of his competition there, but you were able to squeak through and hang. Did you have any damage on that during that wreck?
Yeah, the spotter came through. Is like, you got damage to your wheel alignment, and I was like, oh god. And then I started moving my wheel back and forth, and it was off, but I had the lead, so I was like, man, let's take a chance out of here. And
Well,
it did affect me, but I mean, just had to tuck my balls in and drive.
well, I mean, it's lucky. I mean, not lucky, but it's good that you had a teammate behind you. He said he wanted to try to maybe give you the bump and run. I don't know if I really believe that. Josh, not the type of guy to do that, but that's what he said. Were you expecting it there at the end? Because it definitely looked like Josh maybe been a little bit faster with you having that damage. Were you expecting it, or did you kind of feel like I do that it wasn't going to happen? He's going to try to find a way around you the right way.
I think he'd have gave me a bump. He was faster than me almost the entire race. There was like a 20, 30 lap run, like around, I think, like 55 to 80 or something like that, where I was quicker. But overall, from beginning to end, he was just quicker than me tonight.
Well, I mean, tell me your thoughts when you saw Josh Oswald get into the wall, and then you got clobbered in the front after you hit him, and then you got clobbered in the back, and you're like, and then all of a sudden, like it's like Days of Thunder, you just came out with the lead, and nobody behind you except for Tyler Rice, and everybody else wrecked. I mean, what were your thoughts, man? As that happened, and you came out the only the only one standing?
I was praying for cautions. I honestly thought I was going to get freight trained, but I tried to hold him up a little bit on restarts. And that last restart, I think they thought that I was going to, wait a little bit longer, and I just gunned it. So it's pretty effective on restarts there at the end. The cautions definitely helped. Saw Oswald come out in fourth, and I just knew I was pretty well screwed. But we came away with a win. I don't think I deserved it tonight, but I mean, I wasn't the quickest car, but hell, I'll take it. I've lost an astronomical amount of races where I felt I was the quickest car and came up short, so I'll definitely take this one.
Yeah, I mean your average finish so far this season, not to bring you down or anything, but to try to uplift you at the end of the sentence. But average finish of 14 uh, for this season, and no wins yet. To be able to come and take the pole and lead a few laps, you gave it up to Josh Oswald, but we're right behind him, starting to run him down towards the end of that second or that little long run there we had, and then able to get through that wreck and take the win. I think you were the guy to beat tonight. So congratulations on getting that first win of the season. Sometimes that's all you need to get the momentum swinging your way, the pendulum kind of fling back to the other side. And man, I think you think you got maybe some momentum that you can carry forward here as we start to get towards the middle of the season.
Yeah, I plan on running the rest of the season. There's 2 or 3 weeks there where life just got in the way. But yeah, I think next week we got Martinsville. We'll be really, really good there. Mainly just, I mean, whenever we actually finish races and don't get caught up in shit, we do really well. So I think if we can just stay clear of everything, we'll always have a shot.
Well, all right, man. Well, congratulations on the win. Definitely deserving, regardless of what you say. So congratulations, and man, um, yeah. I mean, good to get that first win out of the way. Who you got to thank? Sponsor shout outs, anything like that?
Yeah, first shout out to you. You do absolutely amazing. The broadcasts are top notch as usual. Um, a lot of times I don't even bother watching the broadcast back, but I always do whenever you call them, just because they're amusing and fun to watch. Shout out to Velocity Motorsports. I think we had 5 of the top 6 tonight. Very proud of Tyler Ross. He's already progressing immensely. So I'm keeping my eye on him. And Sam had the fastest time in practice. I think he kind of maybe stepped on his dick a little bit in qualifying, but just seeing drivers like that progress and get better and better just makes me smile. So big shout out to those guys. Superior SPM Superior Performance Motorsports. Kent Hunley made a magnificent piece tonight. Huge shout out to him. I think it was on freaking rails. Shock Eye Racing. Uh, my family. I think a couple of my friends may have been watching. They're probably talking shit in our group chat right now. That's about it, my man.
All right, dude. Well, congratulations again, and looking forward to the next few weeks. See if that Jason Warren going to get the ball rolling.
All right, appreciate it, my man. Take care.
Well, there you have it. Jason Warren, your winner at North Wilkesboro. Let's bring up the results and see where everybody else ended up. Got a lot of upset folks, I'm sure. Some guys are frustrated. But that is the qualifying results. I don't know why I do that almost every week. But here we go. We know the top 3. We just talked to him. Tyler Rice, who Jason mentioned, a very, very good run out of him. We saw him really battling there, fighting off guys, able to miss that wreck and really took advantage of that and able to bring home a fourth place finish. Logan Sturgeon, we saw him go spinning off the front bumper of Mike Hasty and comes home with a 5th place. Shannon Wilder, a quiet 6th place. He definitely is fast, but just kind of hanging around outside the top 5 all race long. We're expecting to see more out of him uh, towards the end of the race, but a 6th place finish, really good. Rick Rube just seemed to be involved as sort of a magnet for stuff tonight, but recovered for a 7th place finish. Great finish for Chuck Phelps in 8th. Sam Wetstein and Phil Hitman Monzo comes home 10th. Man, what a great run by him. Brandon Meyer finishes 11th. George Fernandez 12th. Dave Jones 13th. AJ Rogers 14th. Disappointing for him. Mike Hasty, saw him caught up in a lot of stuff tonight, finishing 15th. 16th, Charlie Gates Jr. 17th, Mike Steffen. 18th, Frank Barbary. 19th, Terry Bates. 20th, Thomas Capuano. Well, very, very fun race. Really exciting. I'm going to have to go check that one out again. There's a lot of action going on. And so, I mean, it's why I love broadcasting the series. It makes me want to race it just a little bit. But, man, really, really fun race tonight. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being active in chat. And we will see y'all next week as I filibuster just a little bit to see where we're going next. Going to Martinsville. Jason said it. And boy, that'll be exciting. Then Five Flags, Bristol, Lanier, and we end at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Ugh, I'd give anything to race the Nashville Fairgrounds. Love that track. But man, only 5 races left. We're over halfway now. And as we start to look at points, we'll kind of see if the points has changed at all. As I try to just see if the points will show up on screen. I don't think I have it active just yet. So I'll just call it out. Let's see if the points has updated. Sometimes it takes iRacing a little bit. I usually just try to, and it has. Oh wow, the points has definitely changed. Josh Oswald now takes over the lead with AJ Rogers having his trouble. Josh Oswald 245, AJ Rogers 244. Man, that is a tight points battle with only 5 races left to go. Garrett Kinder jumps up to the 3rd place spot with 223. So he's got a little bit of work to do. Going to have some good finishes and hope that AJ and Josh have some issues over the next few races. So he's going to have to keep his nose clean if he's going to have a shot at the championship. Mike Steffen at 214. Donald Clark at 191. Donald not here today. Mike Hasty had a good chance to improve on his championship standing position, but is in 5th place of 191, tied with Donald Clark and Brandon Meyer. So championship race is hot, man. It's so interesting how it always comes down to two definite drivers who kind of set themselves apart. And right now it's Josh Oswald, AJ Rogers, just neck and neck for the championship with Garrett Kinder not that far behind. But it's still wide open as anything can happen, as you could see tonight. So interesting to see what's going to happen. So tune in the next 5 weeks as we get ready to crown this champion in the Killin Time Tour Mod Series in Thunderstruck, presented by Big Frig. Want to thank our sponsors again, Big Frig. Definitely go check them out if you need a cooler. Summer is heating up, and man, it's getting hot. I need to get me one, put in my van as I go to work every day out in this heat. I need a cooler, so I need to get over at Big Frig and get one. And they got all kinds of stuff. Got cups, all kinds of stuff to keep drinks cold. So definitely go check them out. Killin Time. I want to thank Kai Shepard for sponsoring this particular series. Thank everybody for watching, and we will see you next week for Martinsville. Come on out for that one. That'll be a blast.